Today's video is brought to you by me, Jeff Hicks, and my new book, Tits and Art. Tits and Art, or TNA, is my new annual project. It's a big 11 by 17 full-color book busting out with beautiful women and beautiful art. Sign-ups are live now, and it's only live for 30 days, guaranteed delivery by Christmas. Sign up today, link in the description below.
The following is a World-Class Bullshitters exclusive.
The following comes from the vault of Buffalo Jeff.
Welcome back to Schlocktoberfest here on World Class Bullshitters. I'm Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the last standing Samoan, Nick Udom.
Every time I wash my hands, there's still blood. There's always blood.
It's that time of the month.
Fuck you.
So, Nick, when you think of the great horror directors, there's one name, in my opinion, that stands on the top of the list. And that man is John Carpenter.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Eli Roth. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have standards. They're low, but I have them. The only thing Eli Roth, especially that scene where the kid goes, "Pancakes!" and does a fucking jump kick. I love that.
Yeah, I honestly think Hostel was like his last good movie, and then I was like, it's done. I'm sorry. I can't do anymore.
What's that kid's name? Like Nathan or something?
I think so.
Oh, okay, well, I wonder what he's up to these days. You know what? That's a story for another day. It's another video. Maybe that'll be the finale of Schlocktoberfest. People are watching us for 31 days straight, and the final video is, hey, we found out that the kid from Cabin Fever is in college. Big deal.
Yeah.
He's an asshole. He's studying, economics. Good for you, man.
Or quantum physics. We don't know.
He could be a genius or a fucking idiot. I don't care.
That's true.
Child of Cabin Fever, good luck. But no, tonight's episode is about arguably the greatest horror director of all time, John Carpenter. The man is a legend. The man doesn't take any shit either. And Nick and I are going to give you a list of our personal top 5 John Carpenter films. And as always, you can tell us in the comments what you think, if you agree, if you disagree. So, Nick, why don't you go first? Tell us your number 5 John Carpenter film.
Ooh, number 5. Christine.
Nice.
Yeah, I like Christine because I watched it a lot as a kid because it came on I think it came on like TNT or TBS way back in the day when they would show all those movies all the time. Like there would be a month where they just show that all the time, and I really do love it because it's a very simple story and it's very it's just really good. I just really enjoy that. This ghost car, especially when the bullies at school destroyed and then you see it rebuilding itself. Is really weird. I have no idea how they did that sequence and I can't for life of me figure it out. And it's just like, I don't want to know. I just want to just leave that as that was magic and I'll just take it as that. But when the car goes after those people, especially when it's like on fire and runs over one of the bullies, and then he's on fire and just a dead smoldering pile of flesh in the street is just like, it's just, I love that movie so much.
I like it a lot too. I remember seeing it as a kid at my aunt's house. I saw most John Carpenter movies at my aunt's house as a child. But I remember liking it, but not loving it. It's also not on my list, but I'm not discouraged. I don't think it's a bad film by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's a very good movie, and if they made a John Carpenter Blu-ray box set, I would watch it.
Oh, of course.
But my number 5 is a movie. I don't know if you've seen it or many of our viewers have seen it, but it's Body Bags. It's a little anthology movie.
Oh my god. Oh shit, dude. What is it? Shout Factory has their own Roku app.
Uh-huh.
And I have a Roku, and I watched it, and then they have it with commentary, and I watched it with commentary, and I loved it even more the second time with commentary. Yeah.
I need to see it with commentary because I'm loving it. I mean, I've seen it before, but the other day I popped it on YouTube and was watching it, and it was, standard 480p quality, so, basic DVD. Enjoyable. But I just love anthology movies, and I think this one has some strong stories. It's got really cool cameos by other directors like Wes Craven And,
And Sam Raimi.
Yeah. As usual, John Carpenter does a good job, and I love John Carpenter as the fucking host, the guy in the fucking
dude,
morgue.
he did so good. He was like the Crypt Keeper, and it was so funny. He did so good.
I just don't know why he didn't do more stuff like this, like star and stuff.
Well, I remember like listening to the commentary. He just hates being in front of the camera. He doesn't like it. He doesn't think he's good, so he doesn't do it. But like that was, I mean, I loved the shit out of that when I saw him being the presenter. I mean, the host. I was like, oh. You need to do more of this, dude. You really do.
Well, on a personalized message to John Carpenter, Mr. John Carpenter, you did a fantastic job. You should be in more stuff. Stop
really
playing your goddamn Xbox.
Quit making awesome music, damn it.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. With the exception of his film scores, I've never heard any of his music.
Oh, he's on a tour for music right now. I think with his sons or his kids at least.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, John, when you get off the road, come back and make Halloween great again. Some fucking hillbilly from New Jersey or wherever the fuck he's from ruined the franchise, and we'll talk about that at a later date.
Yes, we will.
So, Nick, what's your number 4?
Number 4 is I think you'll agree with me at least, but with this being in the list, it's Big Trouble in Little China.
Before you go further, that's my number 4, so we'll just get that out of the way.
Good man. Yeah, that movie is just too damn iconic for anything. Like, I want to say it's perfect because it has everything you want in it. You know, you've got what's his name? I think Jack Burton, is it?
Yeah.
Jack Burton, and he's like, I mean, Kurt Russell plays him so well, and like Kurt Russell is Jack Burton. Jack Burton is Kurt Russell. Like that can never ever go away. And just that character is just so awesome and so great and just so full of himself and so overconfident, and it's just so good.
So what you're telling me is you can't wait for The Rock to star in the remake.
I do love The Rock, and I think he can pull that character off, but it's just like I'm going to go into it open-minded, but you know, I'm going to go in 50-50. I'm going to go in open-minded and hope for the best. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to go with Rock. You shouldn't remake this movie, or you shouldn't even be in a remake, because like Indiana Jones, like Han Solo, like certain film characters, they are iconic to a specific actor, and you don't redo that. You don't redo Snake Plissken, you don't redo Jack Burton, you don't redo anything Kurt Russell did, because Kurt Russell is cooler than 97% of the people on the planet, present company excluded.
Oof, man, yeah, he's a cool motherfucker.
I've seen this movie obviously a bunch, but thanks to Netflix, I've watched it maybe 15 or 20 times now.
Jesus, I love it, dude. It's just like you can watch it 100 times and really not get bored of it. Honestly, like you just can keep it on repeat and not get bored of it ever.
If I didn't think the internet would get throttled if I had Netflix on right now, I'd probably have it on in the background instead of this Walker Texas Ranger episode, because Jack Burton is way cooler than Chuck Norris, and I think he'd somehow beat him in a fight. Somehow.
Yeah, it would just happen.
Speaking of Jack Burton, the part in the movie that always makes me laugh is when he's got that machine pistol. He's like, "Come on!" and he shoots.
We're horribly
Low
bad.
Pants people.
Low Pants people, yeah. And that was the story. But you know, Jack Burton just kind of took it over. I mean, it was the Jack Burton movie. You know.
Yeah, I mean, look at the poster.
And honestly, I wish they would have taken at least his character and done something else with it, like in a similar vein of like supernatural stuff. Not necessarily Big Trouble in Little China Part 2, but like something different. Like he travels to another town, another city, and maybe like Maximum Overdrive happens or something. Like that would have been Jack Burton's like Part 2.
Yeah, I was going to say they should have thrown him in They Live, but I don't know if he would have taken away from Rowdy Roddy Piper. I don't think the world could handle Rowdy Roddy Piper and Jack Burton together.
No.
Like, I think all of our dicks would explode.
Because here's what's going to happen if that were to happen. One of them would have had to die.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't want either of them to die.
Exactly, that's exactly what would have happened. One of them would have had to die midway through the movie.
Well, you know what? Having fucking Jack Burton show up in Maximum Overdrive, and he should have been in the fucking diner. Like, this is bullshit or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And just have him walk off camera. Or at the very end, he could have saved the day in the fucking Pork Chop Express.
Yes.
Blowing up that Green Goblin truck.
Oh God, yes.
All right, Nick, what do you have for your number 3?
Number 3, let's see. I have They Live.
Okay. Why is that?
What is your number 3?
The Thing.
Okay, The Thing is number 1 for me.
Oh, well, They Live is number 2 for me.
Okay. But, I mean, They Live, another movie that is honestly one of those that you can watch. Well, I mean, you can't do that. You can watch it probably, like, once every couple of days, because it's very, like, it takes a lot of attention to really watch that and figure out what's going on. I do like the 5-minute fight sequence that
Oh, him and David, what's his, Keith David.
Keith David, yeah. That was, and apparently that took 3 days to shoot.
It's almost too long, but I like it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you as well. It is a big. It seems like a giant chunk of the movie too, but it's not. It's only like 5 or 6 minutes long. But yeah, that's a really good movie, and I just love it because just as soon as he gets the glasses, I think that's the whole crux of the movie. And it takes off, and and especially his fucking one-liner in the bank. What is it?
I've come to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
There you go. That's oh man.
Yeah, and Rowdy Roddy Piper, I always think of him as a wrestler first, but he was such a damn good actor. Like,
yeah.
It's sad that he wasn't in like more quality stuff.
True. Very true.
Because, when people say, what's the best movie to ever feature a wrestler, I'm torn. I either want to say They Live or Spider-Man, because Spider-Man I love Spider-Man, but I acknowledge They Live is a superior film, so I'm at a crossroads.
Yeah, very true, very true. I don't know. I love They Live. It's a really good story of like brainwashing and how our world isn't really what it is, and what we're seeing is not real, and we're just controlled by these crazy skinless aliens.
Yeah, and I love the commentary on consumerism. When I watch that movie, I actually pick up the commentary on consumerism as opposed to the original Dawn of the Dead. Like, I get that we're supposed to be slaves to our daily routines in that movie, but I think Carpenter does a better job at presenting the social commentary as opposed to George Romero.
Yeah, I mean George Romero's a little too subtle. I think Carpenter did it a little bit better. He hammered it home a little further than Romero did. Especially with the visuals he had of like the glasses going up and down of like or it says there's a billboard sign and then it says buy this or sleep or consume or I forget all the things it said, but there were so many of them. It was Procreate.
Sure, I'll do that one.
Yeah, having the glasses on is almost like opening your eyes in a weird way, which is kind of funny. And, he just saw everything be this bland, white-walled world with just giant text everywhere,
What's your favorite part of the whole movie, besides the fight scene?
Is when he's in a grocery store in a flower shop, and he puts his glasses on, and he talks to the old woman.
God damn it, that's my favorite part, too. Stop reading my fucking mind. Formaldehyde face.
Formaldehyde face.
He's like, you're fucking ugly.
Yeah. Oh, man. He's like, I put these glasses on, and you're just like, fucking, yeah. Oh, man. I love it so much. And then she talks to her watch and everything. Oh.
Yeah, that's got to be my favorite part. You talked about rewatching it. To me, it's like Fletch. I know I always talk about Fletch on this channel, but Fletch is a movie that you can watch a bunch of times and pick up new things with it. And that's how I feel about They Live. It's like, the more you watch
exactly,
it, the more
exactly,
you learn,
yeah.
it's it.
Exactly. The more you watch it, you find little things in the background. You find little things everywhere that you can always say, hey, I've seen this movie a million times. I didn't see that little thing in the background, But I love it to death. It's one of those things that I will rewatch a lot, and I'm pretty sure I have it on Blu-ray because why wouldn't you?
I watch it a bunch. I got it on my PlayStation, and it's one of my favorite movies that I own.
Yeah, it's just damn good. It's just damn good.
So, number 2 on your list is probably my number 1, so let's talk about that movie.
Number 2 for me is Halloween. Well, I have Halloween and Halloween 2 on there because it's kind of the same day. Mm-hmm. That's my number 2. I just did that because it's the same day. But
that's fine. I know it was Rick Rosenthal that directed it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so this is probably John Carpenter's most well-known movie.
Yeah, well known, and I think it's top grossing as well.
It has to be. Nothing.
Let's
I
see
mean,
here.
I love John Carpenter, but he's not had a lot of box office success.
Yeah.
Because I know the movie cost what $300,000 to make.
Yeah, it was not. It was not a lot.
And it shows, but it doesn't. And you know what's sad is when you Google Halloween box office, that piece of shit Rob Zombie remake pops up first.
Oh, god damn it.
See, this is the problem I have with Ghostbusters. You gotta fucking type in the date of the movie now to find,
Yeah, and that's complete garbage. That should not be a thing. I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah, Halloween was made on a budget of $325,000. It made $70 million. And that's in 1978 dollars, folks.
That's crazy. Yeah, I do have highest grossing films ranked 1 to 13. Do you want me to read them off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we're going from 1 to 13 now. Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Starman.
Really?
Escape from L.A. Escape from New York.
Oh, that's a good one.
The Fog.
Uh-huh.
Christine.
Uh-huh.
John Carpenter's Vampires.
Never seen it.
The Thing.
Good movie.
Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which is my honorable mention for this. We'll go into that later.
Hey, Chevy Chase.
Yeah. Number 10, Prince of Darkness.
Good movie.
11, Ghost of Mars.
Is that the one with Ice Cube?
Yep.
Terrible movie.
Oh, it is. 12, They Live, and 13, The Ward.
That's fucked up that They Live is the second to last highest.
I know. That's horrible.
But back to Halloween, his biggest hit. I remember this was the first John Carpenter movie I ever saw. It scared the shit out of me. It's a part of history now. I mean, all those other movies are good to great, but this is the one that I feel like you don't even have to be a horror fan to appreciate this movie.
No, you used to love movies, and this is, I mean, honestly, I think this invented my favorite genre, the slasher genre. This is what really kicked off that whole genre of, killing kids in houses and chasing the babysitter and calling from inside the house and all that other shit. Like, this started that whole thing.
And it did it so expertly. I can't think of a single part of this movie that makes me go, this isn't as good as I remember. I watched it a couple days ago, and I was like, God damn, this still holds up.
Yeah, it still holds up. It's completely ridiculous, but it still holds up.
I will say this, though. There's only one plot hole that I have a problem with. Like, normally I'm pretty forgiving. Like, oh, how does this happen? Well, it's a fucking movie. But I do have one problem. And I'm going to tell you it right now.
Okay.
So, Michael Myers goes and follows Laurie that morning on her way to school, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you see that he has his mask on.
Yeah.
When Laurie's driving over to Tommy Doyle's house that night, the police just turn off the alarm where he broke in and stole the shit. So that alarm has been going off for like 9 hours straight. I know that's a dumb thing to complain about, but you see Michael Myers, let's say it's 7 a.m., so he's got the fucking mask on. Then you see him at school, waiting outside, he's got the fucking mask on. He scares that bully kid, he's got the fucking mask on. He's following them as they leave school, he's got the fucking mask on. Then afterwards, they run into the dad, and it's like, hey, somebody just robbed this place and stole a bunch of fucking knives and a mask.
Don't they say something about like kids doing it, or like it must have been kids or something like that?
Yeah, and then they go, you blame the kids for everything.
Well, I mean, it's a small suburban town, and it's Halloween. I'm sure things like that happen. So it's probably one of those things where it's like, oh, well, fuck it. It's probably like dumbass kids. And I mean, if they just took, if I'm sure the first thing they checked was the register, and if the register wasn't tampered with, then they really don't care. And if it's just a handful of like, things, and it's like the shop owner's gonna be like, oh, well, they took knives and a fucking mask, whatever.
Well, no, the alarm that for the building was still going off.
Oh, God.
Meaning that the police just came to a break-in. Because remember, he's like, aren't you going to be late? And he go, what? Aren't you going to be late? And she goes, yeah, he yells too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, that's the only part of this movie that I go, ugh. Because, like, other than that, it's fucking perfect. I give it a 10. I love it. It's my favorite horror movie. It's the only must-watch every Halloween for me.
Yeah, and also I would like to point out as a filmmaker, this is something that I really do love because he had a minimal budget, and he made it work to his advantage. He was very creative in the shots, very creative in what he did. And, you know, I think the small budget he had and the small crew and time and money he had really forced him to be creative and make this what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Carpenter's a genius. There's a reason why we're dedicating an entire episode to his work.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, let's talk about your number 1 and my number 2, The Thing.
Oh, God, The Thing. That's another one that I think I could... it's just... I love it because... It's one of those things that you don't know what's going on until you get to a certain point, and then you're like, oh, fuck, like... It's probably a space alien that is this thing, The Thing. You know, and you see a lot of weird things happen, and you're just like, what the fuck? And especially, like, the special effects are ridiculously good. They're so fucking good in this movie.
I'd say they're the best practical effects ever.
Yeah, and, well, hold on. What's your favorite part of the movie?
Probably where the guy's head separates from his body and grows legs.
Yep, same here.
That part always fucks me up. Like, I don't...
Oh, my God.
The only part I don't enjoy watching is where the doctor's arms get eaten off, because I don't like, you know, amputations in movies and shit.
Yeah, that's always a little difficult for me to watch, because I know it's coming, it's like, oh, shit, and then just gets cut the fuck off.
It's gross, but I saw that movie as a kid as well. Like, Halloween scared me for, like, 3 years. Like, I was really uneasy about being in my house alone. But The Thing scared me, but not on that level. And then I saw it uncensored, and I just went, ooh. Like, I had never... I saw it on the Sci-Fi Channel first, dude.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it was nothing. It was just, you know, gross stuff and a flamethrower. And now it's, you know, fucking mutilated dogs and all that other shit. It's a badass movie.
It is a badass movie. It's, and, you know, they're isolated in, like, I guess the Arctic or wherever. And, I mean, I love the part where they take the helicopter and they go to, like, the other camp, the Swedish camp?
Norwegian, I think.
Norwegian, no, you're right. The Norwegian camp. And they find the tapes, and, like, one of the guys can decipher it, I guess, or speaks Norwegian. And they realize what they've done and what they found and everything, and it just kind of like, oh, well, fuck.
If they would have killed that dog in the beginning, everything would have been fine.
Exactly, and it gets crazier and crazier because it's just like, you know, this thing can replicate anybody. Who can you trust? Who's really human? Who's really on your side? You know, it just becomes down to that, and I love that because, you know, it's just there's a lot of tension being built, and it's just really good.
Yeah, I can't think of a strong criticism I have. It's got, like you said, tension. It's got decent action.
But I think the most important thing is, you know, Kurt Russell.
Yes, again, Kurt Russell makes this fucking movie. There wouldn't be awesome John Carpenter moments without Kurt Russell. So, because there are really good moments, but the awesome ones are from Kurt Russell's performances. Yeah,
when he comes back in from being in the cold and they've locked him out, and he's like holding the dynamite in his hand with the flamethrower.
McCready.
Yeah, McCready, and then he does the test, which I think is like, I love that scene so much. I love the test.
And I love the guy that's not turning into the creature, and he's like, he's like freaking out in the chair. It's so realistic and scary. Oh, it is, yeah. The practical effect, like that is an amazing example of what practical effects can do for a movie. Like that is just, it's so good. And I remember I never saw the part 2 or the remake or whatever the fuck it was. I never watched that. I did. It was essentially like a remake, but it wasn't because it's the same story except there's a woman involved. So you know, yay feminism. But then at the end, they find the spaceship, and I think they show the creature in its original form. Aww. Yeah, it wasn't very good, but the movie ends with that little dog that's possessed from the beginning of this one. Yeah. It's that dog ending, and and they're like, oh shit, this one's about to start, so. I mean, I kind of like movies like you were talking about. We actually didn't even get to talk about Halloween 2 at all, because we were so much praising the first one, but no, like I like movies that are a direct continuation. I wouldn't mind watching, like, okay, Casino Royale was good, Quantum of Solace was not, but I did like how Quantum of Solace literally started seconds after Casino Royale ended. Yeah. I wish more movies did that. That's something I'm a fan of.
Yeah, the same thing happens with Insidious and Insidious 2. Like, it's just a direct sequel immediately.
I saw both of those in theaters. Insidious 1 was amazing. Insidious 2 was not.
Yeah, like, it was Insidious 2 is a direct sequel. I know, like, the part 3 is like a prequel, and then they're gonna do part 4, and whatever.
You know, modern horror movies are just too fucking ghost-based and like Ouija, or however you pronounce it. I'll never see that fucking movie.
It's Wajaya. That's what it is. It's Wajaya.
Oh, Wajaya.
Yeah, Wajaya.
The ancient Winnetonkan word. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I watched that movie in theaters, and I was just like, fuck this so much. And, like, that's the thing with, like, even modern... Like, they're trying to copy a modern slasher movie, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. They have no idea. Like, they rush everything and make it be like, all right, these kids, they suck. Kill them now. No.
I want to make a horror movie. I think I know what it would take to make a good quality horror film that would actually resonate with modern audiences and not just horror fans. Because, yeah, horror fans are in it for the weirder shit. And they also... One thing I've noticed about horror fans is they're also like, oh, I love this about the story. And I watch it and I go, that's really not in the story. That's your own, like, projection that you put upon the film.
Dude, they project a lot. It's, oh my god. I've talked to some hardcore ones and it's just like, alright, dude, you need to not watch so many horror movies. Like, you really need to just kind of chill.
Freddy Krueger is not your surrogate father.
He's not?
No, bitch!
Yeah, I know what you mean, and it's kind of, it's just weird. It's just really weird. But
so you said about an honorable mention. What's your honorable mention or mentions?
My honorable mention is Memoirs of an Invisible Man. Like, I watched it as a kid a lot.
So you love Chevy Chase, right?
I do love Chevy Chase. I do love that movie even more because the Invisible Man's story was done, I thought, the best it had been done in years, or ever done, maybe. And I remember watching it recently, and it's like this government experiment that goes wrong, and he gets zapped by whatever, and he's just invisible. And so his clothes, so everything else. The effects are good. The effects are amazing. And it's just a very good, well-told story.
I will say, for my honorable mention, I'm going to say They Live Again. No, I'm just joking, dude. It's Escape from New York. That's a great fucking movie.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, man.
I just wish it was more successful.
Yeah, definitely. It deserves a lot more praise than people give it. I mean, everyone's like, oh, Escape from L.A. It's like, no, Escape from New York, motherfucker.
Escape from L.A. is a terrible, garbage movie.
It is horrible. It is so bad.
And I'm not one that always says this, but the effects are so bad it takes you out of the fucking story.
Yeah, with that beginning submarine sequence.
Or when he's surfing down, what was that, Hollywood Boulevard?
Yeah. It's like, dude, we see you're on wires. Like, just don't. Just don't.
I don't like it, and I never will. And don't watch it. That's the official World Class Bullshitter stance.
Well, the one thing I love is that Escape from New York, Donald Pleasance is the president.
Yes. Don't they take his finger?
I think they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. No, they
movie.
do. No, they do take his finger. They do take his finger. Yeah. But yeah, that's like, and it's just in that, it's at the end of the 70s into the 80s, and you still have that 70s feel to it. So it's still really kind of gritty and grindhouse-ish, and I love that factor of it. Like, it's just a really good-looking movie.
Well, I need to get it on Blu-ray.
Yes, we both need to get it on Blu-ray.
Well, that is our list of John Carpenter films. Nick, would you do me a favor and read yours in order again from 5 to 1, and I'll do the same, and then we'll say goodbye?
We will. Okay, that's fine. Number 5, Christine. Number 4, Big Trouble in Little China. Number 3, They Live. Number 2, Halloween 1 and 2. Number 1, The Thing.
And from me, my number 5 is Body Bags, an anthology film you should check out. Number 4, Big Trouble in Little China. Number 3, The Thing. Number 2, They Live. And number 1, Halloween, which is, in my opinion, the greatest horror film of all time. And if you like Halloween, make sure you check in here, World Class Bullshitters Schlocktoberfest, on Halloween. We're going to have a very special Halloween 1 and 2 episode. But this concludes our John Carpenter episode. We hope you liked it. Tell us in the comments below which John Carpenter movie is your favorite. Tell us if you like our top 5 list, or tell us if you think we're an asshole. If we're assholes, cool, that's great. I'll listen to it. But, give us a reason why we suck. That's all I ask.
Yeah, give us a reason, a legitimate reason, because if you don't have one, then you suck.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick. That's why there's only one Samoan left. Straight and to the point.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why I survived. That was my whole thing. Yeah.
Well, this has been your host, Jeff Hicks.
And I've been the last remaining Samoan ever.
The World Class Bullshitters live show, broadcasting live here on YouTube at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday night. You're invited, but you gotta bring your own beer.